Alright guys, and welcome to the podcast, and today I've got Ben back, not Benno, the other Ben, who I was talking about ghosts and films with, and I've got someone who I haven't had on the podcast before, Matt, so he's an alright geezer. So yeah.
I'm glad that you have me here.
Yeah man, good stuff. So, Ben's made his comeback. He's not doing too bad, you know. He's just doing his thing, you know. So yeah, first thing we're going to talk about is KSI versus Logan Paul. What did you guys think?
Ben, do you want to start?
I didn't really see it, but I saw the knockout.
Knockout?
There was a knockout?
No, knockdown.
The finish. I saw the finish.
Oh, the decision. Okay.
Yeah.
So you haven't watched the fight at all then, or anything?
No, I know how well KSI trained for it though. He was fast as hell.
Yeah. To be honest,
I mean,
from the
fact
height.
that he's done so well. The fact that he's done so well when he gained so much weight, didn't he?
Yeah. Because KSI was like 193 pounds and Logan was like 200 pounds. So, as we say, the size went to Paul, but the skill, you know. I know the thing is, KSI was really, really, really wild, but it worked. Him being a slugger in this fight actually worked. He was controlling where the fight went from what I saw in the highlights. All Paul was doing was standing there and throwing a few jabs. He did not let the right hand go at all. He just threw a few jabs and hooked him a bit.
Yeah, I agree upon that, Coleman. I watched it. I watched it around 4 o'clock.
What, you actually got up for it? Bloody hell, fair play.
I woke up from my sleep, turned on YouTube, found a stream, watched it. I thought it was fucking brilliant. I thought that the match was brilliant. The introduction for both fighters were good. Logan Paul was not himself like from the last fight. He didn't have the mouth guard. He didn't have the face guard thing.
Yeah, neither of them had
the
it.
masks and
They
all
didn't
that.
have. Oh, okay, yeah.
Like he weren't wearing that. He was just wearing his stuff, saying Maverick.
And JJ didn't have the bandana, did he?
JJ came out with the bandana.
Did he?
No, actually, I don't
In the
think he did come out with
fight,
bandana.
he took it off.
He came out with the mask. He had a red mask.
Oh yeah.
It was quite good. A very good intro to it and all that. Even the press conferences were amazing. Explaining, KSI was explaining to the crowd how well he's trained, saying that he would beat him, and that's what happened. He beat him. He beat Logan.
Yeah.
But I did some research and all that, and before the fight, apparently Logan did have something up with his head.
What, he was a bit ill, like?
I don't know what it was, but he had I heard something to do with his he had a concussion or something. I don't know what it was. It was something from when he was training.
Maybe it was a migraine.
I don't know what, but I heard about that. But I thought, nah, it probably would go when the fight starts anyway. But yeah, what KSI said was correct in nearly everything that he said. He's trained, got better. Even said when he got knocked down that time when the 2 points were deducted from Logan, he said he'd get back straight up.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
He said that normal people would have just gone, that's it, that's me done. But he got back up.
Yeah, because a shot to the back of the head can obviously really, really hurt, you know.
Yeah, and I'm happy with the referee actually seeing that.
Yeah, because a lot of refs just let it slide as it's like a massive, massive fight. But that ref was like, no, not having it.
So usually they allow 2 say illegal moves and then they DQ you.
Yeah, he should have been DQ'd. If any ordinary boxing fight, he probably would have been DQ'd for what he did. What Logan did to KSI.
It was like a rabbit punch, wasn't it? What they call rabbit punch, yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, people say, right, with that 2-point deduction, Logan would have won. Now, in reality, from what I saw on the highlights, Logan didn't look like he was winning any rounds at all. It just seems like the judges were just being corrupt and giving him some rounds anyway. So
I noticed that, as well. I've noticed that as well.
Logan didn't look
KSI
like he was
all
doing.
over him.
Yeah. Logan didn't look like he was defending much. It was just a few jabs and he was just standing there. That's all it seemed like, really.
Yeah. Like KSI, I think it was at the end when they were just explaining to the announcer like what's going to happen next after this fight. They said to him, would there ever be a KSI versus Logan 3? Logan replies with, yeah, I'm up for doing that again. He's like one of the best, he's really strong, he said, basically. He said he's a good fighter and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then immediately when KSI got asked that question, he shot Logan down.
Oh!
He turned around and said, I'm done. This is done now. He's ready for someone else.
Yeah,
He don't want Logan anymore. He's done. He done what he said he wanted to do, and now he's going to move on with his career.
But the thing is, 2 matches, I think it's enough. You can't really keep going. Fans won't pay for another fight, I don't think.
Well, the thing is, when a rematch is due, is either if someone gets caught with a big punch and they get knocked out, if the other person sort of cheated, or if it was a dodgy decision, or if it was a draw. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't warrant another match. What we're most probably going to see is just KSI outbox him again.
To be honest, I want KSI to call out Jake.
That'd be a horrible fight. Jake could just get wrecked. Jake could just be made a fool. Because either
that, get Deji to be mates with KSI, with his brother again. I know they had the beef and all that, the issues and all that about, like, how Deji was getting depression from how KSI was treating him and all that. But I think they just need to make up. Once they make up, get Deji to go against Jake again one more time.
Yeah.
Because I know, he even said, I think it was on one of his, on his YouTube channel, I think he said something about, like, that when he did that fight, he weren't even really trying his hardest.
Mm-hmm.
Because all it was, he knew that he was going to lose.
Yeah.
So, and he said that if he actually tried, he probably would have won. So,
well,
I
think the next big thing, it shouldn't be like a massive, YouTube fight or whatever, because let's be real, as much as I've said loads on the podcast before, and to you on Xbox, I've said KSI is going to lose to Logan. I kept saying that, but I've also said that Jake would lose to KSI. And I was wrong about the Logan, I was wrong. Logan got wrecked. But I think JJ would wreck Jake Paul. I don't really see the point in that fight, to be honest. It'd be boring. But if they want to do it, fair enough. I think probably... Who could JJ fight next? Maybe some semi-professional boxer on some random card? I don't know.
Could do. I could call out someone else.
Imagine if he went in a UFC fight against
Cain Velasquez.
Can you imagine it though?
Bloody hell.
That wouldn't make any sense because Cain Velasquez is a heavyweight. Have you gone mental?
It would be funny just to watch JJ. It would just be funny to watch JJ get destroyed.
Why? They wouldn't even allow it, because let's be real, why would you let a celebrity, because every celebrity that's gone into MMA, I can't think of many, but Aaron Chalmers, he just fought bums. They just fed him rubbish people to fight so he could look good and people could get interested. If the celebrity loses straight away, then they lose all their star power and the whole thing was just pointless.
That's the same with CM Punk. Look what happened.
Well, Mickey Gall, they're just underrated. Him, Mickey Gall had sick Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And Mike Jackson, CM Punk should have beaten him. What the bloody hell was going on there? But there you go. I think CM Punk, he was just too old. He was too battered from the wrestling, WWE style wrestling.
Yeah. Well, should we talk about something else now then?
Yeah, unless, Ben, have you got anything else to add?
No, I'm happy to change the subject.
Alright then. Matt, do you want to talk about the pay-per-view? You can have the floor, I have no idea. I don't watch wrestling anymore,
right, so... the same night as Logan versus KSI. AEW announced, well, didn't announce, but they were doing their pay-per-view Full Gear, and it was stacked, the pay-per-view, like, properly stacked, full of raw, like, star power. So the main event was going to be Chris Jericho versus Cody Rhodes.
There we go.
Alright then, what were you saying, Matt?
So the main event was Cody Rhodes versus Chris Jericho for the AEW World Title. And then they had an unsanctioned match, what was Kenny Omega versus John Moxley, who is basically Dean Ambrose.
I'm surprised I know all four of those people.
Yep. And they had a tag team match, and it was the Young Bucks versus...
know them.
The people from TNA, the ones at LAX, not the original ones, but the new ones. Tito and whatever, I can't remember the name.
I don't know them.
Yeah, is it Tito Ortiz or something?
Yeah,
Tito...
something like that. Yeah.
Wait, Tito Ortiz was in it?
Yeah.
The MMA Tito?
I don't know.
Tito
No, it's the LAX one.
Oh.
Anyway, so the matches, there was a woman match, but I didn't really watch that because I was too hooked on the other matches. And there was one more good match, what should have happened ages ago, before Pac got injured. Pac is basically, if you're a WWE fan, Phil Neville. Not Phil Neville, you know what I'm on about.
Adrian Neville, the English guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know him, yeah.
Yeah. He's called Pac now, anyway. But he went against Hangman Page. Anyway, the matches in the pay-per-view are actually quite good. John Moxley versus Kenny Omega was an unsanctioned street fight, basically.
Okay.
So they were bringing in barbed wire, bringing in glass, they're bringing anything in the ring to beat up each other with.
Quite extreme then.
Yeah, quite extreme. Yeah, it was a good match. Yeah, it was a really good match.
I was gonna say though, you know, in AEW then, is it a 12 then? It's not PG.
Yeah, it's nothing like WWE.
Okay.
See, I prefer wrestling not being PG, to be fair, because I want to go back to the Attitude Era. No offence.
What about the ruthless aggression?
Yeah, I agree upon that, but they'll never ever be able to do that again, because that's a unique thing.
Yeah.
Ben, did you like the ruthless aggression era much, or was you not fussed?
I didn't really watch that.
How come?
I just mainly watched, like, Attitude Era, because that's what I grew up with my dad.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Anyway, yeah, going back to the pay-per-view, really, Santana and Ace defeated the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
That was the tag match. Adam Page did defeat Pac via pinfall, and I would say that was I'd say a 4.5-star match. That was so amazing, because them two would go back and forth in the indies before AEW was a thing.
Mhm.
So it's like a big thing.
Yeah.
Private Party. The SCU, that is Christopher Daniels and...
Oh, he's still going?
Yeah.
See?
At the moment they're doing like a story that he's injured because he got dropped by the Lucha Brothers.
Mhm.
So Kazarian's there as well.
It's quite cool that Christopher Daniels is still going. I swear he would have retired now.
Yeah, you'd think, but he still goes.
He just loves it then.
Isn't he the same age as AJ Styles though?
I don't know.
Christopher
I don't really
Daniels, he's nearly 50.
Oh, is he?
49, yeah. Bloody
But
hell.
yeah, the main match you should go and watch. The main two matches are Moxley versus Kenny and Chris Jericho versus Cody Rhodes. Them two matches should have been the 5-star classics.
Chris Jericho versus Cody Rhodes, and who else?
And Kenny Omega versus John Moxley.
Yeah, okay. I'll watch them.
You need to watch them. Chris Jericho retained his AEW championship after the match was stopped because his friend threw in the towel.
Oh, okay.
And how it happened was Chris Jericho was doing his famous Walls with Jericho, but he puts his knee on your head instead of
the line,
the
line tamer instead of the Walls of Jericho.
That one, the line tamer. But what he was doing when he was doing the line tamer was kicking Cody's head in.
Oh bloody hell! That is some stiff shots.
So when he was doing it, right, Cody was lifeless. Like, he wasn't, like, moving one bit. So that's why he threw in the towel. Yeah. And halfway through the match, Cody did actually get an injury. He got a massive gash on his right, I think it was either his left or right eyebrow.
Bloody hell.
Where he got caught.
They're really pushing themselves, aren't they?
Yeah, and what happened was his mate, Cody Rhodes' mate, actually turned heel on him by basically kicking him in the bollocks.
Okay.
So the guy that threw the towel in had enough of him.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Omega and John Moxley, they basically killed each other. Basically. And that's it, really. It was just hell.
So, one question about it. Is it a million times better than WWE?
Yes. Any WWE fan who is listening to this podcast, go watch AEW. It's always on ITV. Because it gets shown on Wednesday nights, but on ITV Hub it comes out on Thursday nights.
Mm-hmm.
And watch Dynamite. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The amount of raw talent in it is brilliant.
Better than NXT then, or?
No, I would say them two are equal at the moment, NXT and AEW. They're both bringing out really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, we could talk about NXT and say that Finn Balor turning heel. He turned heel.
Okay.
Pele kicked the living hell out of every person you could possibly do. There was an invasion. NXT did invade Raw and SmackDown recently.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that is really interesting.
Yeah, because the next pay-per-view Survivor Series in NXT is a part of it.
Yeah.
It's good that they added them to it, because no offence, some of the NXT talent is better than the main roster.
Much better. Even the entrance themes are much better.
Mm-hmm. Fair dues then. I mean, yeah, AEW, it does sound half decent, you know. I think, I know you don't like PG stuff, Ben, but if NXT can be PG and still work, WWE just has to move some things around. I mean, if it's still 3 hours, that's going to kick it in the balls. Because who wants to sit there and watch something for 3 hours every week? It's mental. Stupid.
I think that's why I hate Raw. I prefer SmackDown.
Me too, I prefer SmackDown.
2 hours is perfect. I personally just prefer watching wrestling for an hour nowadays, but 2 hours is perfect if you want enough stories, enough stuff. 3 hours is fucking mental. How are you meant to cover up all the time? It's just stupid. You have to fill it with crap.
Yeah.
But that point has been beaten to death by everyone for the last... When have they done 3 hours since episode 1000 in like 2012?
Something like that,
So people have been saying this for years and years, obviously. Well, here's to episode 2000, which should be out in like 2022, I'm guessing. I might actually try and watch that one. That'd be a sick one to do a podcast on, episode 2000. Just see what they come out with. Probably just a crock of shit. So yeah, let's move on then to conspiracy theories. So for this part, we'll just bring a load of theories to the table and see if they're true or not. Alright then, so first one, is the Earth flat, lads? I won't say my answer yet. What do you guys think?
No, I don't say the Earth is flat one bit. You can see the curvature of the Earth.
Yeah.
Look what happens. Look what happens when you fire a bullet out of a gun or something, any gun. You see the bullet, it curls. It curls literally down.
Yeah. So, that one is a no straight away. Obviously, the Earth is not flat. It's just a load of bollocks, whoever says it's flat. They used to think it was flat, and, you know, till that bloke sailed around the world and found out it's spherical. So, that's a no. That theory's not true. Next one. Ben, your ghost stories. I'm putting this on the conspiracy theory. Can you tell us your ghost stories and we'll see if they're true or not?
What? You mean my personal experiences?
Yeah.
Well, one time I unplugged my TV completely. Nothing. I don't sleepwalk. I don't do nothing. And all of a sudden, my TV was plugged back in and turned on.
Any other ones?
There's been a couple of cases where my door's been solid and it just opens on its own.
Okay. Solid shut?
Yeah, solid shut. Like, even if you stand on the floorboard, the door don't open.
Okay. The door actually opened on its own. Any other ones?
There has been cases of, like, when my nieces were born, my sister had a dog that wouldn't go in my niece's room.
Okay, Matt, what do you think?
Petrified.
Yeah, true or false then, Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the fact that I believe in ghosts.
What?
I believe in all that stuff.
Okay. I'm surprised
I
because...
believe in aliens.
Yeah, aliens, no. We'll move on to that in a sec, alright, but...
I believe in aliens, because
we'll move on to that one next. All I'll say with the ghost stuff, it's interesting, but I just don't believe it one bit. I'm sorry, I just don't. What's funny, you guys are atheists, but you think ghost stuff is real, and I'm a bit of a religious person, and I just don't believe in it.
When I say I'm atheist, I'm a religious person.
What, really? I swear years ago you said you was an atheist.
Christian.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I thought...
Yeah, that's the Christian.
Oh.
I'm the one that's not got no religion.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Sorry, guys.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's
you didn't offend me. Most people were like, why did you say that? I'm not. I'm fine.
Yeah. Personally, I believe a bit, but you can, you don't have to believe, obviously. It's all your decisions in it. Yeah. But
so
anyway...
decision, really, if you want to believe in ghosts or not. Like, literally, they can... Yeah.
Yeah. So, next one. Aliens. Now, this one, what do you think, guys? I think it's a real big possibility, personally, because all the stars in the universe, right? There's so many. There's more stars in the observable the whole universe than there is grains of sand. And around every star, there's loads of planets, like 7 planets onwards. You know what I mean, like?
According to studies, apparently most stars are actually planets.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, stars are suns. Stars are all suns, and there's loads of planets around the suns.
So every night when you go outside and look up and you see them stars, there's planets around them.
Some of them are planets, like one of them's Jupiter. I think a slightly big one is Mars. I don't know. And then you've got the moon.
People think that's a star, but really it's not a star. It's just a planet.
Yeah.
It's just shining differently because if you can see, if you look outside in the dark, normally when it's a planet near us, you'll see that it looks like a star, but it ain't. It's just a bit brighter.
Yeah, bro, trust me though. When I've been in Devon and Wales, parts of Wales in the past, because there's not much light pollution, you can see so many fucking stars, it's unreal. Your eyes have to adjust to it for a second, but it's beautiful in these more laid-back areas, looking up and seeing like loads and loads
Even
and
when
loads
I
of
go up to
stars.
Scotland,
Yeah,
same thing.
it's
You
cool,
can see
innit?
literally everything.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
it's brilliant to see that. The Northern Lights would be pretty sick to see one day,
Yeah,
I do want to go and see the Aurora Borealis.
That's the Northern Lights.
yeah.
Yeah, that's your technical name.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, I think aliens definitely exist. Are
They
they?
should exist.
Yeah.
They should.
I don't know.
Why would they actually have an Area 51 all to do with aliens?
We'll talk about Area 51 in a sec, actually. That's another good one. But yeah, aliens definitely exist. I don't think they might not be as advanced as us, but somewhere in the universe there has to be. So yeah.
Look at all the scriptures and all that, like on like tombs and all that around Egypt and all that. Like, the pyramids? They're meant to be links up to do with the aliens. The point is, right? The fact is,
Apparently aliens built it.
We'll talk about that after Area 51.
that's been clarified as not the aliens didn't build it, we built them, and there's a way we built them. But the thing was, if you look on the map of the Earth, it makes a perfect triangle on each pyramid and each, like, because you got the pyramids in Mexico, haven't you? The Aztecs built them. And then you've got the other ones.
Let's just talk about that one now then. Yeah, I think it was built. I think humans built it. Nothing to do with aliens. That's just crazy.
Nothing to do with aliens, but then when you look at it, it's like its own version of the Bermuda Triangle.
But the trouble is, they don't believe there was that much advanced technology to be able to move like solid blocks like that.
They just got a load of people who were like enslaved to do it. Sadly, who were just slave labour, working their arses off for nothing. Just treated like shit. So yeah, the pyramids were built by people, not aliens. Next one, Area 51. What do you think is in there?
There's got to be something in there.
Either it's to do with aliens, or it's to do with like spies. You know, someone that goes around. You know,
I think
monitoring everyone.
Yeah, I think it's just high tech weapon stuff. Personally, you know.
That's all
like
it is.
I think there's just like high-tech weapons and chemical viruses to keep there, because Russia has still got chemical viruses apparently, like the smallpox virus under lock and key.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like they've already figured out a cure for cancer and it's in there.
No, I think Israel or somewhere are finding a cure for that, but maybe you're alright, yeah, who knows.
Who knows? It could be nothing in there, or it could be bits and bobs of other things.
Yeah, there's scientists working their asses off all the time, so who knows. Next theory then, was the moon landing fake?
No, I agree on the fact it was not fake, and there's the fact that Mythbusters, remember that show, actually tried to break the myth. Like, they tried to make it so it was actually a myth. No, like if it was fake, to see if it was fake or not, but it weren't actually, because they got shown that, on the moon, when big boys were on it, they left like a thing, I don't know what it was called, like it's a scientific thing. They fire from Earth, they fire a laser up, like an invisible laser up. If it bounces off it and then comes back down, then it's proof that they've been on the moon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the moon landing was real, definitely. They wouldn't spend billions of space dollars just to fake something.
And if you look on, do you know them pictures you see where you see the American flag like waving in space, and you're like, oh, how can the American flag wave like that if there's no atmosphere or anything? Like, it's the thing is, they made something inside it. That's why the flag stands up.
Yeah. Next one, the Illuminati. What do you got?
Illuminati confirmed.
I think it's just a load of fucking bullshit.
It really is.
The lizard people, it's a load of rubbish. I think it's just, it's just shit.
It is a load of shit, to be
Definitely. There's this one that I told you guys about beforehand, the horse head that fell onto the person who made the horse head. Do you think the horse was possessed or?
I've never heard of that one, so I can't really.
It was at an airport. It was at an airport or something.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think it's true. I think he was just shit at putting things. Well,
I've got a couple theories. I have.
Can I just say one more in a sec? But yeah, I think that person was just terrible at putting it together. Well, not terrible, but like he didn't do a good enough job. One last one I want to say before you say. I forgot it now. Never mind.
Talk about the one in Germany.
What?
That one we was on about. The one about the World War II. The Germany one. The one they crashed UFO.
Oh, the Boswell incident. Or Roswell.
Yeah.
I'll look that up now. The Roswell incident. Oh yeah, Carl Pilkington's the one who called it the Boswell incident. I'm such an idiot. Roswell.
Yeah, I agree that is true, because I'll explain. Most of the stuff that the Germans had before that crash was not good. It was just like the tanks, the vehicles and all that, like, just UFO.
What they learnt from, yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
What about the guy that made Simpsons?
Oh, Matt Groening predicting everything in the future.
Yeah, do you believe that he's a time traveller?
No, I don't. I did think he's just like he's studied quite a lot, and he's just got the information on point. Near enough.
I think because it is amazing how much he's predicted, but I think because
he's predicted about 50 odd different scenarios for different things.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not a time traveller because I've heard the only way you can travel in time is by travelling forward, and you have to go to space or something. Like you remain young in space, and time goes faster on Earth or something weird. I don't know how to explain it. That you can't go back in time because the thing's already happened. So
it is amazing sometimes, but the trouble is he can't really.
I'm going to look up how many things he's predicted.
He knows it, but he can't alter it. You know.
Yeah. Well, I'm just looking up how much has he predicted. I swear he's predicted stuff on Futurama as well.
Yeah, he's predicted when President Trump. He predicted that the same scenario, Trump Tower.
Yeah.
He predicted the iPhone.
Mhm.
The iWatch.
Yeah.
He predicted about the crash.
Mhm.
Predicted a lot of things he did.
Yeah. Bermuda Triangle, when the plane went missing.
Oh, that's...
I believe that's... But I don't believe that's true. I believe maybe they've got lost at sea because apparently there is something to do with their... apparently the Bermuda Triangle affects their navigation system or something.
Okay.
Yeah, there's that. But I believe it may be... I don't believe that, but then I heard about a story about a guy that travelled through the Bermuda Triangle and got to Florida 3 hours early.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
Ain't there been a Bermuda Triangle near Miami or something?
Yeah, near Florida. It's literally near Florida. It's literally where the Caribbean is, with the Florida.
Well, I mean, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. This next one is a little bit controversial. It's not political though. Did the royals, I don't know if I should say it, but do you think the royals did in Princess Diana?
What?
Do you think they assassinated
if
her?
they did anything, if they knew anything about the assassin,
Yeah.
was it the car crash?
Yeah, the car crash. Yeah, the car crashed into them. Yeah. I think that was just a bad timing. I guess I don't think that's like really a theory. I don't
think that's like a conspiracy. I think that was just a freak accident. That you know.
Thing is, though, I'll say a few things right. A biker went up and was trying to take pictures of the trying to flash his camera at the taxi driver. Now, you can either argue, okay, maybe he was trying to get pictures of Princess Diana. And the thing is...
Yeah, it probably was.
What's really weird, though,
Diana
wouldn't put a belt on. That's the weird thing. She was like, oh, I don't want my belt on, blah, blah, blah. Like, what the fuck?
Why wouldn't you put your belt on?
It's confusing. I know that has nothing to do with it.
A belt is there to keep you alive.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? That's like going... Right, that's what I hate about buses. I fucking hate buses because of that. They don't have belts. So if the some buses do, but some buses don't. I've noticed
None of mine do.
But literally, if the bus crashed at all, everyone would fucking fly.
Well, look at me, for instance. I had a bus accident. I hurt my back, and the girl smacked them. You know, on the metal poles that they got, that you can press the button.
I should be laughing, but this sounds funny. Go on.
You know the bell straight forward and cracked her head. You just heard the great big crack.
Oh, bloody hell.
What?
Yeah, she was alright, luckily.
Thank God.
But it was just the fact, all you heard was the...
Yep.
And it fucked up your back, didn't it, Ben, quite a bit?
Yeah, I was off work for a week because I couldn't move.
How did they get you off the bus? Did an ambulance come?
No, I was alright. I went to get off the bus, and because I was changing buses because I was like, I'm not staying on this bus. I'm going to another driver. And all of a sudden, I had a large shooting pain straight up my back constantly.
Yeah.
I had pulled a muscle in my back.
Do you know, that'd be a good topic to talk about. Injuries. Oh. What injuries have we had?
Oh, God, I hate talking about it. But one last thing I want to say. With buses, with coaches, right, and buses. Coaches, because I had to the college I went to had coaches. So, they had seat belts, but I don't know why they don't have seat belts on buses, you know. You just have to try and hold on to the pole or sit in a sensible seat, I guess.
Hold on!
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So you guys have to take buses a lot then?
I take it every day to get to work.
Man,
College-wise, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I finish early on some days, so I have to catch the bus.
But yeah, as I say though, I didn't realise how essential a seatbelt was, because no one, some days, you know, I didn't put them on the coach. Most of the time I did though. Once someone was like, "Oh, you a pussy, why are you wearing a seatbelt? If a car hits the coach, then the car will get hurt, not us." But I always had a seatbelt on. It was only a few times I didn't have a seatbelt on. Obviously, in the car, I always have a seatbelt on, man.
Me too.
You hear so many.
I just think it's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, because you hear.
If you die, one day you could end up having an accident, and then it's your life.
Yeah, your and if you're in the car with your family, then they could be blamed for because you don't have your seatbelt on. They get pulled over or something.
Yeah. But all I'll say is always wear a seatbelt, because I don't know why on the coach some days, not often, but some days I just thought, no need to put the seatbelt on today. But like most of the time I did. But I thought, what's going on, man? You know. You just have to have more sense. It's like when I was a kid, I never had a helmet on when I was on my bicycle, you know.
See, I think nowadays there's just too many bad drivers around.
That too, yeah. I guess when I was a kid.
Fact, just came out that women are more safer drivers than men. So.
It is proven, but I think sometimes as well, no offence, people that are driving too slow are the problems. Definitely,
most of the time, because people behind them get angry, they try and overtake, and another car goes bang into them.
Yeah.
I think they are a bit...
Another thing, like elderly drivers, some of them I don't think should be on the road.
Yeah. Did you hear that story about those elderly drivers who were driving on the wrong way of the motorway, and every car had to keep moving out of the way?
Yep.
And it was two people with dementia in the car who were driving, but like, how the fuck were they allowed to drive still? Why wasn't anyone on the case? It's mad.
Yeah, you're not allowed to drive if you've got dementia.
I know, it's crazy. But they were doing it. Madness.
Oh dear.
And some of these people, if you watch like shows like Road Wars, some of these drivers, they'd easily get someone killed, you know, if someone was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I find when I watch those kind of programs, I get really triggered.
Yeah.
You know, I think, what complete tools with
there's that always Facebook videos of like bikers where they literally and they're going to get run over and then they smash their fucking shit up on the car because they're angry.
But unfortunately, some of the cases is just because the bloody drivers tend to think they can cut a bike up.
The drivers think they own the road.
Yeah. I've seen people like they're not supposed to do a right turn. They skip a red light, and then they hit a bloody like her.
Yeah, because I'll explain that. Because in America, I think there's a rule that if it's a red light and there's no oncoming traffic, you can turn right.
Yeah, it's only if there's a sign saying you can right turn at it, though.
No, that's any road in America.
Oh. See, I thought there was supposed to be a sign saying if there's a right-hand turn sign, you can go skip the red light and turn.
Yeah. Alright then, Matt, you said to talk about injuries. I'll just go over mine quickly. I've had a knuckle injury that hasn't gone away, sadly, ever. It's just annoying, but there you go. I popped my shoulder out years ago when I was doing Thai boxing. This was a year before about 3 months before the knuckle injury. Before that, I was never really injured at all, to be fair. I've hurt myself a little bit in grappling a few times. My knee popped out once. They were doing like a move, like this is how you do like this leg flick. And they flicked my knee and I was like, ah! And hurt my back a little bit at work once, and it hurt for a few days, and I had to take it a little bit easier at work. And what else? I don't know. You just get these things, don't you? I've got trigger.
You get them all the time. Yeah.
I've got trigger finger in the one hand, in my pinky finger. It's not too bad though, because I have this finger strap that straightens it out. So I've got a numb toe from all the walking I've done, and it hasn't gone away, but it's not too bad. So. Yeah, what can I say? We all have injuries. Ben's back's been bad for ages. I don't know. Have you had many injuries, Matt? Because you did sport at college, and that's pretty.
Yeah. I'll explain. So I think it was javelin or something I did, and I remember I twisted too quick, and what happened was my back muscle just went. It went so bad that the muscle did not swell back down.
Mhm.
Like, do you know where it just stays, like, rock solid?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was doing that for a good couple of months. So I couldn't, like, walk properly or anything like that.
Awful.
Because I was in so much pain. It was awful, yeah. Even when I had to do sport, I would have to go and tell the teacher, oh, I've got to lay down. I've got to lay down because I'm in pain so much.
Yeah.
See, unfortunately for me and Matt as well, we both suffer with the same joint issues.
What's the joint issue?
Matt, you got dyspraxia, ain't you?
Yeah.
Dyspraxia.
Yeah.
Isn't that just clumsiness though? Like.
No, dyspraxia. I know the definition.
It's to do with mobility sometimes with the joints.
It's where it's like a problem to do with your head. Your brain.
I think mine's my joints.
Oh, mine's my brain. So basically what happens is my brain's telling signals to my muscles, but not telling them correctly. So like sending different signals to other things. So that's how I can get injured really easily, because what happens is my brain won't tell me to do this, so it's like delayed in a way.
Yeah.
So that's it, yeah. But yeah, I think I've popped my index finger out once.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, I think I've popped my pinky finger out as well. That one's been popped before. I think I definitely twisted my ankle like a couple of times.
Football.
Yeah, football, basketball. I've done a lot of twisting my ankle.
Go on.
I've sprained my ankles before, both of them. It's fucking painful as hell.
Yeah. I was gonna ask though. I know this is something totally. Ben, do you want to say what injuries you've had, or because I know you've obviously had the back issue.
I've had my back. Obviously my joints pop out all the time, so that ain't really an injury.
Yeah.
And I've also broke my right arm twice.
What happened?
Mainly it was me not doing. The first time was me not doing as I was told. We had just moved to Northampton, and when I slide, and our garden hadn't been levelled out.
Yeah.
I went on the side, the slide toppled over.
Oh, jeez.
I should be laughing, but I can imagine it.
But my arm hit the pavement, and then the slide and my body landed on my arm.
Okay.
But they didn't believe that I broke my arm because I could move, do everything that I could.
Mm-hmm.
Then they done an X-ray, and then they said, no, that's broke.
Oh damn, that sucks.
The second time was we had just moved to Essex, and you know how like you got the subways that go under the road to get across the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, most of them don't have bike barriers.
Oh.
I didn't know, obviously, because just moving to the area, went on my bike. This one had bike barriers,
Okay.
and obviously I was going down. And all of a sudden, the barriers come up. I couldn't stop in time.
Jeez.
And I went flying over my bike handles and flying over the bike barriers as well. And snapped my arm that way.
Horrible.
Yeah, it sounds bad. Really bad.
I have cracked my head open once.
Mhm. Yeah.
But that's made it.
Okay. Pretty bad, but things happen in it. Matt, I just want to ask you something quickly. You know,
Go
with
on.
sport, this is the last thing of the podcast for this one. With sport, because when I was at college, the media plays, we could see outside on the field, and there was loads of sports people playing football loads and doing all that stuff. Did they just do football on sport, but you said basketball and all that as well? Do you get like marked on that, or like how good you are at sports, or do they just do it for a laugh?
They just do it because it's to get you. Well, the government says that in a college, I think it's one day you have to at least have 1 day of exercise.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why you'd see the football teams, like in my college, the football teams always play on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the day when we do sport and all that. But like they do mark you sometimes, because I remember doing my level 2 sport in college, and at the end of it, I would have to do my own lesson.
Oh, bloody hell.
I would have to do my own lesson and let them do the sport, but I can't play.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do get marked on it sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes.
Yeah. Was there any like unhealthy people, or?
Yeah.
Oh, did they do any good?
Yeah, they did.
Fair enough, like. Yeah, I guess we'll leave it there. This has been a pretty great one. We'll leave it there, so, yeah, hopefully we can do another one with, yeah, hopefully we can do another one of the days, us three, so.
Yeah.
Any last words you guys want to say before I end it?
No, it's been pretty good. It's pretty nice doing it with 3 rather than 1-on-1.
Yeah, because it gives more
more points.
It gives, yeah, exactly, more points, and it gives more breathing room.
And a different perspective.
Definitely. So, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.